Stay still or forward wide. Oh, give it push. Fell forward. Just gonna clear him as he's gonna try it.
Spun through turn number 3 and 4. Bubbles spinning up the track. He saves it.
And there's Bubbles.
Spring is flat. Bubble has a flat. Oh, he flips over. Bubbles on his side. Caution's out.
Just ran out of bunch of cars.
He's going up the corner. Here comes Carter. Carter with a huge one. Oh my gosh. Carter wins. Spring trying to get the lead apex.
Here's Spring! He's there! Spring!
What is happening?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here for the 8th race of Season 5 of Bubbles Cup. You are joining us live from Kansas. What a beautiful sunset we have here tonight. Apologize for a bit of a delay, but we are now here live from Kansas as I am up in the booth, Agent JF, your normal host, joined today by Marcus. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I've been so excited to get stock car racing back ever since we paused a little bit for the Bubble 325, but it's finally back and we're here, and this should be a great race today.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We also have a little man in a hurry joining us tonight. Is he in here?
Yes.
Little man, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Wonderful. As we are already pacing. Take a quick look at the point standings. It's still Kimmy out in front with 1,083 points. Corey Wilson was going to start on pole, but is not. Could not make the race. So he set the fastest time of qualifying, but not starting on pole. He's in second in the point standing, 895 points back. Beast, 833 points. Then Napa is back there. That's kind of your top 4 at points right now. As looking now at the overall grid, as I'm sure we're going to be going green here fairly soon. And there's a look at it. Yeah, Corey Wilson unable to make it, so that's going to move Nass up into pole position. We've got Billy, Ramirez, Flix, Chino, Robloxy and PC, Dim, Nico, Dino, Ford, Grez, and then DJ. DJ using that provisional, Grand Champions provision to start there at the back. He'll be starting P13. 13 car field today. And we are about ready to go here, going double file on the back straightaway. Green this time for the Heart of America 250.
Well, the championship is going to be blown out of the water now with the inconsistency in attendance. I mean, Napa, Beast are not here. Corey's not here. It's going to get blown wide open because you never really know who's going to be on the grid.
Yeah, I mean, Ford is going to be looking to take advantage here. He was almost knocked out of qualifying, but he's probably the most consistent. And even though he missed the first 2 races of the season, he's been steadily clawing his way back up. I think Ford, your classic IndyCar Series champion, is going to be looking to get into the championship fight here for Bubbles Cup. But coming to the restart zone, we are about to see green flag racing here from Kansas. So green flag flies, and we are underway for the Heart of America 250 from Kansas.
People already starting to make moves, or at least we saw just a slight move and shift up from Dino and people in the back. But who raced in Nationwide yesterday? At the same track as Nass goes into the wall just a little bit. That's not going to be good in his tires. These cars are very, very packed up easily. Like, there is no escaping it. It is so terrifying, especially seeing that 3 wide already on lap 1.
Yeah, we see right away Ford is given a drive-through penalty. That was for going down the apron before the start. He's going to immediately serve that. You see him go to the pits there near the back of the pack. So Ford serving his drive-through penalty. Another thing I want to mention, if you hit the wall, you are losing 4% of your tire percentage. Start with 100%, it goes all the way down. Once you get below 20%, you have a chance of blowing the tire. So that's something to take into account when you see a driver bounce off the wall. That's going to hurt their tire wear. And tire and the strategy is a huge part of this race. We've got 173 laps. There's 6 sets of tires that these drivers can use. And they're going to have to find out the best strategy to make it to the end of the race in the fastest possible time.
Yeah, speaking of the tires, I believe Nav's got walled in the exit of 2. But he would have had a interaction with the wall and bring some life down. He actually just hit it there again. So,
Oh, yep.
yeah, we know he's at least lost 8% off of those 2 wall hits, and that's something you want to avoid because, you know, I for one don't know what the tire life is like, but if it's at all close in the 6 sets, you want to stick clean.
Yeah.
Did it again.
And that was going to cost him the lead as here comes the number 9 car. Gino is through into the lead. Gino's done a couple of races. He's been decent. I think maybe a DNF at Bristol, I want to say. But has done a couple of races as a Robloxian. Probably, honestly, after the Nationwide race, even though he DNF'd, he had really good pace in that Nationwide race. With that kind of experience, probably one of the favorites here early in this race. While other people are trying to learn the line as we get the 42. Back up the track and rear end damage. Oh, he pops up. Oh, that's another car involved. Is that DJ? Yes, it is. DJ and PC, almost 2 separate incidents, but they are both going to be down to their last car here. A caution already, just 5 laps into this race. And
I think PC was on the inside of, but maybe it was Rares who came off the wall on the exit of 4 down into PC and then caused him to spin.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a bit of a wall tap. I had a slight. I'm gonna try to get a replay, but wonders for Ford here. He's gonna be right back in it. The drive-through penalty essentially nullified after an early caution here from Kansas.
Yeah, they were battling pretty rough with each other for 4th position at the time, and we saw a lot of 3 wide action as we were talking. But eventually, there was just a little bit too much trading pain, and if you're going to ride someone's door as they're coming up off the wall, and they shoot back down into the track into you, and if you're ill-positioned, you're going to go spinning into the infield, which I think is exactly what happened at PC.
Yep, we're going to try to look at a replay here.
I think DJ may not have been pleased with something with Nico for what happened as they were trying to avoid the wreck in front of him. He just went up and kind of shoved the door of Nico before getting back in line.
This is bad checking up, honestly.
And Rares is given a drive-through penalty for incident responsibility. We're going to take a look back at that incident right now. There on the exit, looks like the 78 bounces off the wall here, just on his own hits the wall, comes back up the track, big into the wall, and then yeah, it looks like a DJ gets spun off of the front of another car, a light colored car, and that is what turned him up into the wall. So for DJ, I think that was 14, yeah, that would have been Nico. So that would line up with what you were saying, little man, about DJ not being happy with Nico. Because I think DJ was checking up for the wreck, and Nico just ran into the back of him.
Right, and I suppose they're on their last car.
Yeah,
DJ
yeah.
and PC now.
Both of those drivers are going to be on the last car. And I think now really going to be Ford is going to be the one to watch here. Back in it after an early drive-through. He just needed that one caution. Now he's back in it, and He should be exciting to watch here on this restart.
Yeah, he was never really going to be out of it with that early of a drive-through penalty. You know there's going to be cautions, so good to see he's back in the mix.
Green again.
Good push from Nas. Chino there. Let's see if Chino can get clear. Oh, wow. He got such a shove from Dim. He's looking in the middle now.
Oh, they're being pushed up the track. Roboxian is back out of it. Nas back to the lead here. Oh, and we've got a spinner. Dino. Very good. That back straightaway down there is slippery, so that is not an easy save to make there. Great showing of ability there from Dino as we find Nas looking back here at, I believe, Dim fighting for second. And he's going to get that spot over Billy. Can he look for the lead here? Dim in the number 18 machine, closing in on Nas here for 1 and 2.
Almost 3 wide. Maybe Billy has something to say about it too. Now so close to touching that wall, but Dim has now contested, now side by side coming into turn number 3.
Yeah, I want to say Dim looked like he had just better turning ability in 1 and 2. I think that's down to Nas getting the wall a couple times in that first stint. As they're sliding behind, is that Flicks?
Yes.
43 Flicks in the wall with damage. That's going to be his only reset. He's going to have to use it up. Dino comes flying in that kind of hits the back of PC. But no harm, no foul between those two. But Flicks is going to be down to his last car here. He will join PC and DJ.
Wow, Rera's drive-through penalty for incident responsibility again.
2 incidents in 9 laps. It's one more incident responsibility drive. He'll have accepted that he's given the black flag and disqualified from the race.
There's a lot of tippers flaring. I don't know if you caught wind of this, but Nico just went out of line to go door or Dim. Maybe not happy with how the fight was going on at the front of the pack, but that's another instance of someone getting out of line just to go door someone's right side. So people are not happy with each other pretty early on.
It's unnecessary, honestly. In the Nationwide race, they were the same. They drive the same. These cars with Nationwide, they are almost identical. These cars a little bit more faster on the straights, but like people are gonna shove, and it's not gonna be easy. So people really need to cool down their temper because it's gonna be a long one if they keep doing whatever they're doing. You can't go 4 wide. What kind of caused that wreck earlier? It was Rera's Ford, Flicks, and then someone else. But you can't do that. You gotta be smart with it.
Yeah, if it trends like this, it will quickly become a race of survival, and you're just going to want to stay out of the incidents, and you'll be in a good position. And honestly, I kind of thought that maybe we'd be getting into that at the beginning. Some names I haven't seen in a little while, and some aggressive style driving. So it may come down to a small field by the end of this thing. It's a long race.
Honestly, this isn't the ideal field. Like, obviously with Kimmy's retirement, Beast not being able to make it, Napa not making it, Corey not making it, that's the basically decently, well, they drive clean most of the time. I mean, they don't really cause any issues, but you see this, like, Billy, Nas, Chino, Rez, like, you never see them in this field. It's not necessarily calling them out on anything at all, but it's very new. It's a very, like, new type of field.
Yeah, sometimes it's not just, about the skill level itself. Sometimes it's about the chemistry and rapport you have with the drivers you've been racing with for many races back to back. And you just get with some new people here where you're not sure what the trust level is like. You don't know what their style is like. It's difficult to race with a new field of drivers. I, for one, would have my issues to race with some of these guys that I've never seen before on track or doing the booth. So that's also an aspect of it.
Go to the restart zone, coming back to the green flag, and there we see it. Dim leads them to the green. Completing lap number 10, that AT machine gets a good jump. He's going to be clear into turn 1, clear track ahead of him as the rest of the pack swarms behind.
And that's going to check up there a little bit. He's going to be nipped just underneath by Ford. Ford might have a good run. Billy stayed over the wall. It was really good by him. It was getting tight there.
Yeah, really good by the two drivers on the inside of him, giving him just enough space to keep it out of the wall. As Ford looking to find second place here. Good exit for Ford, fighting side by side with the 22 of Billy. And he's got it.
Run from Ford.
Ooh, this is getting dicey in that middle of the pack. That's Robloxian making the move. PC trying to squeeze in. Oh, it's still not getting good.
Two cars on the apron back there.
Ford, look at him going for the lead already, coming into turn number 3. Surely he has it.
He really sent it in deep in the entry. See if he has the rotation in the middle of the corner. It looks like Dim's going to try to just get back to his left rear. He's there, but actually Ford has cleared him. But Dim's got a little bit of a crossback on him.
Yeah, Bailey looking to take advantage as these two fight it out up front.
I think Ford might have a good run on the exit of this corner to Dim. He backed up the middle and the entry.
Back in the pack. Oh, nice crossover moves. Hold him the dummy to the inside. He's going to get the wrap at the top here.
As long as Ford can keep position on the outside, I think he'll have the run down the front stretch. No, did he just get into the wall slightly? I don't think
he didn't hit it, but I think he just had to back off a little bit so that he did not hit it. But great racing here between these top two. Early part of this race.
Going back to that is also, it is not a high lane track. This is very low lane dominant. So everyone, that's where you get your speed from. You either have to move them out of the way or try and keep that middle lane right next to them, which it's happened before, and we saw it especially with the 3 wide as they're 4 wide in last. Oh my god.
Dim's going to try to look to the inside of Ford here as they're going into 1. He's still trying to fight for the lead. To try to get a better exit, getting the car rotated in the center so that he has a straighter exit. And I think it was worked to perfection right there.
Yeah, that's definitely the fastest line. We saw Bubble doing that in the nationwide race. Same with Robloxian actually, and Robloxian, who was in the middle of the pack earlier, as you said, is Ford looking inside here. Robloxian's worked his way back up into 4th and closed in on this battle, so now this battle of 3 has become a battle of 4. All for the top spot here on lap 16.
Familiar faces with one not very known, and Robloxian has been trying to make something work, and there he goes to the inside, going into 3rd place. Could this be his day today?
Backed up the middle just to get a little bit better exit there, and I think that's going to pay dividends. Yes, he's clear for 3rd place.
And this is where you got to be careful about letting Ford get too far ahead, because he gets into a rhythm with clean air, it'll be tough to track down later on. And this is exactly what was going on in the truck race just a few nights ago. If you didn't battle him lap after lap, he'd get clear and leave you. So it's tough to stay in his wheel tracks when he gets that clean air, but you got to do everything you can to try to get side by side with him again and hold him up, because he will take off.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Oh yeah, it is, but you know, I ended up winning, so I can't complain about that. Even though I got spun by a lap car as well, that was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that too. So, it wasn't just Ford who had that. The same guy too, but hopefully no weird shenanigans happen again today, as a very chaotic finish for the nationwide race here.
Yeah.
2 cars battling, both of them going to the wall, spin each other out, and across the line they wreck as Robloxian goes to 2nd.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we don't have any rider riders in this field. I think we're a little bit safer. As caution is out, something has gone on behind, and that looks like Rares. Yes, it is Rares in the 78 machine. He's got damage on the front straightaway. I saw him up against the wall in the tri-oval, but I couldn't tell if he had damage, and evidently he did. So that is our third caution of the night.
Rares has actually been in the middle of every single stoppage we've had so far. And incident responsibility on the first two, and now whatever's happened, he's lost his right to reset. So he's on his last car and his last straw as far as race control is concerned.
Not a good race for Rares, I would say. He had some problems figuring out who he was going to drive for in the beginning of the race, and now is being very chaotic out on track. So let's hope he gets that cleaned up before they get to halfway.
So Dim had just lost second position before that caution came out, and it was about getting in the middle of three, getting the left fronts down on the apron. I thought maybe he may have found something and was going to give a lot of rotation, and then he ended up feathering the throttle all the way in the exit and was just sitting it up for boxing. That's how he got past.
We see that from race control. Rares never served those drive penalties he's been given for incident responsibilities. And he's been giving a 2-lap stop and hold penalty. Probably about as severe as a penalty comes outside of disqualification as far as I've seen here in World Cup.
He's got a blown tire.
Oh, Nico's being spun by DJ and under pacing. Oh my gosh,
Like
that is never.
one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's never a good sign as far as what you expect to see conduct-wise on the racetrack for us not to be, in uniformity in the pacing line.
DJ is giving it to the back for that.
Nico just ran into
And now
the
Nico
right
is
rear.
flying way past the field. Nico's getting a false start penalty. He crashes big into turn 3.
What in the world?
Oh, Nico, I think he's still got it pinned. No, now he's off.
I'm gonna assume that he had a ridiculous lag problem.
Parked for excessive lag, and that's a park.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, he had to have come off the pacing button and had a throttle stick with the lag.
Rares just wrecked on the wall.
Geez, it doesn't even feel like we can get the green off with the way people are up here, much less back there.
What is
Adrian's just floored it. Or, sorry, Grez.
Anyways. He's going off. Perez is parked for excessive lag.
Oh boy. Well, this is not exactly how I expected the field to thin out, but it's doing so nonetheless. This is rough for D1, guys. I mean, the etiquette is something else in nationwide and trucks, but this is categorically lower than I've seen in recent times.
It's not good, but I mean, you can't really blame it on. I mean, I don't know what there is to blame. They were mostly lag problems, but it's still weird in its ways.
Yeah, mostly lag those first couple, those parks, but the dooring people, under pacing, the fact that we can't get lined up, even the people who aren't dealing with lag, the wrecking. We're 21 laps into this thing, and most of them have been caution laps, I think. I mean, Nico being spun by DJ under pacing. It's usually a good indicator of, unfortunately this is the case, but it's usually a good indicator of the kind of quality racing you're going to see under the green. The fact that we can't get squared away under yellow.
So come Rares coming to serve that 2-lap penalty. So we finally see the green flag once again. Ford leads them to the green. Bloxing on his outside. That is Chino looking on the apron. He has to back out of it. And now Dim's going to get side by side with Robloxing here. On the apron a little bit of contact between those two cars. And they've got to be careful if Ford gets out front and is able to just skirt away. You may not see him again the rest of the race. They missed the turn in there a little bit. Luckily he's got a car on his outside. As Billy gets sent up, he has to lift big time.
I think DJ went pretty hot in the entry of 3 there and got into someone's left rear. I was setting them up into the wall. So Billy got the worst of that.
Robloxing's around the outside of Dim here.
This battling for Dim and Robloxing isn't helping them catch up to Ford at all. So they got to figure out something as Dim makes the move on Robloxing, makes it into second, and should and hopefully can track down Ford.
Yeah, Dim might be one of the only guys that has some true raw pace to compete with Ford. But obviously Robloxian is going to make his argument for him having that pace to go catch Ford. And this is kind of the situation at least we had in the trucks race. You had me and Cut going back and forth, battling each other, not catching up to Ford. It's going to be tough to convince a race car driver that they're not the faster one and to just fall back in line.
Dim gets bounced off in the wall there.
That's definitely not going to like that.
Now, I know it's been about a month off due to the Bubble 325. You gotta remember a big storyline right before that pause was that walling on the last lap would be to the back for your where you were scored. We saw a little bit of that at the end of the nationwide race, but Bubble was a little bit concerned about giving Honey a to the back and giving himself the win on a call like that. So he just let them play it out since they were walling each other back and forth. But he did tell me if we see more walling in the last lap in the last corner like we saw from Honey in the nationwide race, he would not be afraid to send that car to the back.
Yeah, the other point about that is that's unfortunately the thing you run into when you're racing and also trying to play race control. You've got 2 separate hats that you're taking on and off. And to have those roles that are essentially divorced from each other as far as their interests, to have those 2 roles in one person, you end up with that kind of conflict of interest where you can't make the call that so obviously should be made. So it kind of sucks that it came down to that, but obviously we don't have to deal with that problem here as he is just only doing race control. By the way, Chino got up to second after Robloxian and Dim kept going at it. PC got by him as well, so see what kind of true pace Chino has.
Dim running the top back there is able to secure 5, I believe. Here behind, P4 behind Chino and PC. Right now, nobody has anything forward though. Out front, Ford has the pace.
Yeah, that's going to be how it's, how it shapes up almost every week if you end up with a field like this. I mean, Ford is head and shoulders above everyone in pace, and as long as something, freak doesn't happen, then you'd expect him to be the favorite to win. There's only so many people that have the pace that someone like Ford has. I mean, Agent, you're definitely one of them. I've had battles with Ford, but sometimes he's just kind of left me in the dust at times as well. I think Bubbles usually has the pace for Ford. But with the rules that we have, okay, Rare is getting disqualification. just to finish this statement up though, with the rules that we have, we end up with a D1 field where a lot of the guys that I think are renowned as some of the best Roblox racers are not on the track, except Ford. And so you kind of get used to him just pulling away like this.
Yeah, I think it kind of stemmed from the creation of the Nationwide series, and Bubble said, "Oh, I'm gonna drop down," and it's unfortunate because I feel like it kind of takes away from the prestige of D1 being the best of the best, especially when there was that rule I brought in about having to commit to your series. A lot of the good drivers saved, but a lot of them dropped down to Nationwide there, and I mean. This championship is the one that gets the trophy sent to your house. So, maybe they just weren't thinking about that at the time. But even if feel like you've got it in hand, this is the one that really pays out if you can bring it home up here in D1.
Well, speaking on that rule though, is we recently removed that, so you're free to run literally whatever you want. So that D3 drivers will be able to run D1 and are mostly back markers. We haven't seen much D3 drivers try and do it yet, but it's just it kind of ruined the way of how those divisions work.
Yeah, I think another part of it is there's always an issue of allocation of resources when it's limited, and you kind of have a balancing act as far as the skill you want on the track versus the quality of production you have with the booth and the stream and everything. And the fact that all three of us could be driving, with us doing what we're doing now and with Bubble doing race control, you have to make a choice. Do you want the absolute best drivers on the track for D1, or do you want this to be the best possible product for D1 and give other drivers an opportunity? And I think we've gone with the latter so far. And we see a little bit of the consequences of that, but maybe it's not the wrong decision. I think it's just yet to be seen in its entirety.
Well, ultimately, we all know the solution is to put Lil Man Hurry back in as in-car reporter. That is the best production value with high skill racing out on the track. Now that would be something trying to chase down Ford with while commentating.
Yeah, that would be something.
It seemed pretty difficult too.
Look at those last lap times. Ford, not the fastest. The last time around, the fastest car on track was actually Nas, way at the back. Out of the top three, Dino was the fastest last time around. Gino does have the fastest lap, but that is on much fresher tires than what they have right now at 36.4. It's last time around a 37.2. Ford at 37.1 for Chino, at 37 flat for Dino. 37.163 for Ford that last time, and once again Dino a tenth faster than Ford. Chino dropped a couple tenths right there, so Dino really closing in. Might have a battle for second here, and last couple laps Dino's had better pace than Ford out front.
Yeah, Dino can have some real pace. I just don't ever see him that frequently on the track in multiple different series. But when he is here, it doesn't seem like he needs all that much practice for him to get up to speed with the leaders. So a lot of natural talent there.
I know Dino's one that is always trying to balance a work schedule with this. Stuff on the Roblox side here, so not always available, not always able to see him. But yeah, as you mentioned, when he does show up, he looks pretty good. We saw two pit stops there, Nas and Flix pitting at route lap 30. You see that displayed on the ticker there. Now, if you're pitting on lap 30, I mean, you're gonna have to make 5 pit stops.
Yeah, you're trying to go for basically the full allocation of tires with a 6-10 strategy. I'm just not sure that it's worth it with how much you can extend from what we're seeing with the leaders. They may be going closer to lap 50, I think, and trying to make this a 4-stint, 3-stop race. That's probably the ideal.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna go on a three stopper, you can really pit here in the next laps. Honestly, you'd be looking at about lap 43 or 44.
I definitely think that's the ideal strategy. And typically, if you're going to do more pit stops, you only do one more than two more. And with a schedule at lap 30, it looks like they're trying to go for two more. I guess it's still possible to do 4 stops instead of 5 stops, but it felt a little early for an alternate strategy.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. Seen it come down to the wire before in Bubbles Cup, as you lose so much time on old tires, but you also lose a lot of time going 60 miles an hour down the pit lane. So,
right.
You know.
And Billy just came out of the pits as we were talking about that. You know, thinking about a 4-stopper as an extra stop alternate strategy, maybe this is the time that you'd actually do it. So perhaps Billy is along that line of thinking. And he didn't lose all that much time having pit a lot later than Nass and PC.
Yeah, not at all. It's just you barely have to make it just a few more laps to comfortably make it with a 3-stopper. I just don't think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah,
But there's maybe
flying around this track.
there's maybe something also we've seen in the past where, you know, some guys aren't as comfortable. They bounce off the wall a few times. They don't have a choice. You know, they're forced to take that extra pit stop just to make it to the end of the race. Once they're going to blow tire.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I want to point out, Dino has gotten past Chino and is catching Ford. He's putting in some really good lap times. I think Ford is trying to experiment some around the width of the track with some different lines to see if he can carry some more speed. He's not hitting the very bottom anymore, at least in 3 and 4 he wasn't. He's getting closer to it in 1 and 2. So maybe Ford is on the back foot here trying to find some speed because Dino is closing in.
Yeah, it could also be a tire wear difference. You know, we know Dino is on keyboard. Ford is on controller. It's kind of an unfortunate reality, but I think the controller, as we've got a caution here in the middle of this pit cycle. Dim was in the pits when it came out. That's amazing for Dim. Robloxian is the car that has crashed down the back straightaway.
And PC. He's gone.
And so PC was one of those early hitters, so he's gone. And Nass, you know, maybe Nass hasn't lucked out as much as someone like Dim, obviously, who would just come into the pits. But Billy was one that pit between Nass and Dim, and I think he probably was on around the 4-stop, 5-stint strategy, and this is not a bad option for him.
And not at all. I'm not sure. I want to say Dim was able to keep his lap there, so yeah, he should be ahead of the lapped cars. He should be ahead of Nass. 'Cause Dim was in the pits when the yellow came out, so I think Dim would have kept his lap. And he's going to cycle out right there to 5th place. We're down to 8 cars left. Quick run through the field. We've got, Robloxian and PC are now spawning. They were gone for so long, I thought they were done. Although PC was on his last car.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't think PC had got damaged.
I see. Well, we've still got 10 cars then. We've run through the field. We've got Ford in the lead, and then it's Dino, Chino, DJ, Dim, Nass, Billy, Flix, PC, and Robloxian. Those are the 10 that remain from our 13 starters. 14 qualifiers, but Corey Wilson and our Paulson are not able to make it.
Also, want to mention what had happened during, at least in the stint of 34 to about 40, is DJ had spun on the backstretch and had saved it though, like barely saved it, so he was still good. He circled out behind Flix, but luckily, this caution definitely saved him.
You know what's interesting to me is we're going to take the green, doubling up. The cautions breed more cautions because you pack up everybody and they're fighting super aggressive again. But it almost seems like once you get those green flag laps in and everyone's spread out, you think, man, maybe this thing actually will go green. Maybe we'll actually see something interesting here. And then there's some kind of phantom mistake somewhere that you'll never see. People coming together or someone wrecking completely on their own, and it changes the full complexion of the race. I'm just going to call them phantom mistakes because we never see them. But somewhere, someone completely loses their mind and they wreck the car, and then you end up with a situation again where we're packed up. Probably going to see another more wrecking.
Well, we've got about 5 drivers who've yet to pit. As we're coming to the green flag is out. Top 4 have not pit yet. Those behind are going to be on fresh tires. That is definitely a formula for a crazy restart. Here comes NASA immediately trying to go to that top side with those fresh tires. Dim is going to use the apron. He's just going to go around on the apron to take the lead. Oh, and Dino's getting put on the wall. They're spinning. That's Chino around. There's contact near the wall. A big hit for Chino. Everybody else makes it through cleanly. Oh, Nas, a little bit of contact there.
A little bit, you were right.
We saw it coming,
So
man.
Whatever happened between, whoever, PC, Robloxian, whatever. We'll never know unless someone just tells us, but we'll never see it. But it did its job. We're packed up again.
Chino's on his last car. I mean, it was bound to happen. You've got cars up front on old tires, cars behind that just pit.
Oh my gosh.
Impatience.
Oh my gosh. This sucks. Robloxian pushing PC, and I think he's been deleted. PC would get tire wear, of course, off of that from being pushed into the wall.
Robloxian disconnected, so that's a DSQ Robloxian. And now we're down to 9. And unfortunately for PC, he's just an innocent bystander there. And it's going to lose a bunch of tire wear due to it.
Yeah, it may have been more than 4% because the longer you stay on that wall, I think it just continues to run that script, right?
Yeah. Well, it's because these walls. The wall is not one continuous part. To make it rounded, we're stuck using squares. Or rectangles. So, if you scrub against the wall, you're hitting lots of individual rectangles. So, every single time you hit one and then it waits about 0.5 seconds. And then it sees if you're still hitting it, and if you're still hitting it, it runs it again. So.
Well, it's interesting to know that that's how you give this curvature to the track. If you have enough rectangles, then you create a smooth edge.
Yep.
Here we go.
Green flag, back out, everyone away cleanly. Dim is going to lead them down into turn 1. DJ with a good restart here. He's going to the inside of Billy, looking for V2. Ford behind them, he's on old tires. He's going to need to come to the pits soon. You can see him super tight in the middle of the pack. He's going to be fighting for his life just to not get, pushed.
Oh, already. PC managed to gather it up, but man, they were about to wreck again.
I can see some people going to the pits here very shortly. Not this time, though. Not this time. As here comes Billy with a run on Dim. Looking to the outside here. He's going to get there. He's on that right rear quarter panel. Side by side into 1. Well, they both overdrove the corner a little bit, trying to fight each other. And here comes Flicks. He's going to open the door for that 43 machine to get involved in this battle for the lead.
I expect DJ to come down soon, guys. He was going so slow. He just went into the wall again. Now he's running the apron. I think he is going to come in.
Side by side for the lead, and now they've switched spots. It's Billy on the inside and Dim on the outside. I see DJ pulling down back there. I think you're right, little man. Yep, DJ into the pits.
Man, what a battle for the lead we have at the moment. Billy was one of those guys that I said was lucking out with the timing of the caution and his pit stop. So showing some nice pace here.
These three drivers all made a pit stop before the caution. Dim is going to have the freshest tires. He's stuck up on that high side. He's going to clear slicks though. He could get a big run on Billy down the front straightaway. And there he goes, looking to the inside here.
A pretty good respectful race between Billy and Dim for the moment. Oh man, he's really pinned him down there on the inside. Ooh, I don't know. What do you think of that? Was he forcing him down into the apron there? Or?
We saw a little bit of that in the nationwide race with Bubble. If it's this early, kind of brush it off and get past it. But man, it's really frustrating if you get pushed down the apron because the car does not accelerate very well on the apron. And you just lose all your momentum. It's really, really frustrating. But I'll tell you, I would much rather push on the apron than push into the wall. Looks there, brushed the wall by himself a little bit, and Dim with a run into 3.
Sometimes when you put the left sides on the apron and the right sides are on the increased banking of the track in the normal line, you get some extra rotation. You see that a lot on short tracks, but here I see people get their left sides on the apron and they plow tight. And you have to over slow in the center of the corner to keep the thing out of the wall on your exit. So, yeah, not as bad as being walled and losing tire life, but definitely it's not a competitive sportsman-like thing to do to force someone down the apron. Not saying you did it on purpose, but it's something that hurts the integrity of the battle to be forcing them off of what's really the optimal racing surface. Yeah,
and I think part of that is the more intense baking here at Kansas. We've got a lot more baking than you do some of the short runs. It's just a couple of degrees flatter, and that can help rotate the car around. But also, I'm not 100% certain about this, but I know sometimes the apron will have a different track friction value here on Roblox, and that can directly affect how much the car is able to turn on that flat part. For example, that light ray down there on the back straightaway, I know that has less friction than the track actual racing surface. So that's why if you see cars spin down there, it's much harder for them to see.
And it's still an intense battle up here between Billy and Dim. We know Dim has the fresher tires, but Billy's been holding his own. We got Chino in the pits, by the way.
Chino is taking the pit stop pretty late here. Ford is another one that's still just holding on, staying out there. And
he must be really in this strategy of minimizing pit stops.
Yeah, I was doing the math earlier watching this battle. It's Dim to the inside here of Billy. He's going to tuck in line. I think you got to be about like 57 or 58. That'll put you on the 2-stop. But I mean, it's risky. You'd have to have a lot of spare tire in it if you're going to pull that off, because they have had a ton of help with caution laps. You can wear your tires down.
At this point, I don't know if it's worth being out here right now. But just watching the mile an hour track with Ford in the center of the corner versus our leaders, I mean, it's something like maybe 15 mile an hour difference, man. It's kind of intense.
Billy sliding up here ahead of Dim. We see Dino taking his pit stop, so he's going to go a lap down to the field.
Ford's coming in. Yeah, as I was talking about that mile an hour difference, it literally was maybe about 15 miles an hour, and I thought, man, Ford has got to come in because this is not worth being out on the track for.
Dim had the spot into 3, but Billy gave him a little shove, a little bit of the bumper there in 3 and 4. Dim's on the top. He's taking that exit away. Billy can't use all the exit. We're still side by side down the front straightaway.
insane battle these two are still having, as there's no intent for stopping either.
Look at Dim backing up the corner here. Get a huge exit on the 22 machine. He's trying to get the crossover, but he's on the apron. That cost him some momentum right there.
He's not doing it there now. He slowed a little bit more. He's back to where he was, and he might have the run. He does have the run. As he coming to the straightaway, he's gonna make the move, and will pass him, I believe, coming to the turn.
I feel like if Dim could just get clear here, you maybe run some more consistent laps. Probably gap Billy, but I don't know. He hasn't been able to shake him.
Yeah, I mean, every time he gets clear, he's not using all the track on exit. Like, I watched Dim get clear, and then the very next corner, he exits, like, in the middle of the track. Like, just not taking as much speed as he could. And I know you want to leave a little bit of a buffer to the wall, try not to lose any tire wear, but it just looks like he's not anywhere close to the limit once he finally gets clear. Let's take a look here. Oh, and here comes Billy back to the inside.
It's going to bring DJ into the picture. Obviously not for position, but DJ pretty close to getting his lap back from the pit stop cycle we're seeing under green.
Yeah, DJ pit much more normal time here for the stopper we're talking about. That three-stop strategy is going to be looking for about lap 86 or 87.
Yeah, I think DJ on the three-stopper pit way more optimally than Ford. Is it possible to try to go for two?
No,
Ford was doing, or
Ford pit about 3 laps too early. 2 or 3 laps too early. That's a lot of caution help. I think Ford is going to have to still do the three-stopper, and now he's just way off cycle with everybody.
Yeah, and he really stretched it. I never saw him get in the wall that much. But at 55 laps, he pit on 55, I think exactly. For 55 laps, it was not at all competitive pace to be on that old of a tire. So I think DJ has played this pretty optimally.
Yeah, but I mean, remember, Dim was on the target lap of 43 when the caution came out. That caution came out on the target lap, so Dim isn't even off cycle really. He's basically was just given a lap advantage over everybody else that he's on the same strategy as. So that's why this has been just ideal for Dim. Running high 36 lap times up here at the front. Ford behind a 36.333. That is a very fast lap for Ford.
It's kind of an interesting, picture to have in your mind, but if you can imagine DJ not being a lap down, I think this may be kind of what you'd be seeing if the caution hadn't come out, if the thing had went green with the pit stop cycles, DJ and Dim hitting their lap. So this is kind of what it would have been shaping out to be anyway, except for the fact that Dim got lucked out with the caution timing. Yeah. So if it does stay green for the rest of the race, he's playing with that advantage, and it's almost sure to be a win. But is it really gonna go green the rest of the way?
I mean, that's what it comes down to every time. I mean, we could see the next 100 laps go green, and then see it, 8 to go caution. We've seen it so many times in these series, man. Something about these kids on Roblox, man. There's that prefrontal cortex hasn't developed enough. They get to 10 to go, and they just feel the need to throw a yellow. Can't help themselves. Dyna with a 36.1, very, very fast.
Whoa!
I think there's no better way of putting it than it's something about these kids on Roblox, man. That's probably the best description of it. Yeah, it's some sort of phenomena that has to be studied, man. It's like 10 laps to go. For some reason, we have to have a caution. I feel like if you had a camera on every single individual car, you might see someone just turn it completely right, the wheel completely right to cause a caution, bro. I feel like that's what's gone on in some of these races, just to make sure that we have a finish at the end. It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it when we lost the stream, had to move the stream to Drivers VC. I'm talking about IndyCar Phoenix this year. The race control leaves, and then Bubble has to take over race control while racing, and other drivers just start. We get to 5 go, and they're not a part of the race for the win, and they're just like, oh, I crashed, caution, when they actually hadn't crashed, just to get involved.
And you know what? Strategically, it's actually pretty sound, because imagine you have those 2 cars and you have a reset, but you're not going to be fighting for the win. Why not just spin it, and if no one sees, then you have a caution and everyone's stacked up again on the lead lap. Unfortunately, that's the incentive structure that's in play right now, and I would be surprised if people have thought that out and said, you know what, I'm binning my car, this is my only shot.
Well, on the positive side, talk about a kid who is great is Ford. Ford has slowly caught his way back up to Dyno and DJ, having, I believe, the fresh out of the bunch. He knows his way around row racing, and he's looking for this win today.
Yeah, I mean, that's presumably going to be a battle for a top 5 spot. If we go green all the way, that's going to be 5th on track. And I don't remember how off sequence Flicks or PC might have been, but they might be able to make up that gap. But it's really a calm race now. Billy's shown some pretty strong pace, kind of unexpectedly. Billy's one of those unknowns. You go in a race like this, you're like, Billy, that might be one of those 8 to go cautions. But really holding the steady wheel here out front right now. Yeah, Flick's pit on lap 31. That's one of those that's just way too early. We wanted to see 42 to 43. The only driver that's really on schedule is him. Obviously, he's probably in the best spot. Billy's not too far behind him, but nobody really hit the number we were expecting to evenly divide up this race for the three-stopper here.
Yeah, which is interesting, because you'd expect a lot of variation in pit lap for some alternate strategies, but the primary you would expect everyone to kind of have that figured out. One thing though worth noting is, even though it was a few laps early for Billy to have pit with the schedule, he's doing really well to hold his position up there as the true leader. So he's not too far off schedule from an optimal lap.
Definitely not. And I mean, pitting 3 laps earlier is very quickly negated by somebody tapping the wall 2 or 3 times.
Absolutely.
Ford gonna get his lap back, chase down these other 2 guys for position. That's Dyno and DJ. At the end of the wall goes Billy. In front of Ford.
Another thing though is that these guys might have looked at that caution as just a reset, as just a shorter race starting at the caution, and pitting around lap 50, evenly dividing it again into we had so much caution there at the start of the race. They could have said, look, let's chop 10 laps off of this, in which case pitting around closer to lap 50 is still pretty good. I mean, Ford maybe a little bit on the far end, but for some other guys who pit near him closer to lap 50, I can see that strategy still working out, as we've got PC in the pits, one of those drivers that pit really early. He is coming to the pits and is going to be out behind Nas. Now PC pit about 7 laps after Flicks, but had to pit before Flicks on this cycle. Flicks is doing a good job of extending this second stint, trying to get back on schedule, because he pit around lap 30, and now he's done 42 laps on this set of tires, so he's doing a really good job to try to reel himself back closer to the optimal strategy. Ford has gotten past DJ. That is technically for 5th now on track since PC pit. Now he's going to try to chase down Dino up ahead.
Yeah. But just to keep the in view in mind, assuming that it did go green, our real contenders for the win are Billy and Dim. And it looks like Billy has really got Dim where he wants him. So just something to keep in mind, as long as you don't see a caution, your real contenders are Billy, Dim, and Dim is pretty far away off of Billy, who's shown some good pace on what would be older tires.
Yeah, I did see Dim get the wall a couple times. I mean, I might have swung the other way. A couple of mistakes from Dim might be advantage Billy now. But either way, they still want to make it about 10 to 12 more laps before they come back into the pits. Really more than that. You really want to see 86 or 87 up on the ticker when you come back in for that second pit stop.
Yeah, so they'll have to go a little ways. But, you know, it doesn't look like they're in any danger of someone who's taking an extra pit stop, you know, picking them off.
Ford just hit the wall.
I saw that. Trying to follow really close behind Dino. Got in the wall there.
It's not good.
And yeah, as you said, little man, Billy is just continually pulling away from Dim. It's up over 4 seconds now. He really looks to have this race in hand as it stands right now after 75 laps here out of 173 from Kansas. Now this back group here, they're catching up pretty quickly to Flix. Flix is 18 seconds behind the leader. This group is about 30 seconds behind, so they're only about 12 seconds behind Flix, who is on 46 lap old tires. This group of cars are on about 20 lap old tires. So they could get up there and challenge Flix for what is on track 3rd right now. So what we call it a battle for 5th might become a battle for 3rd. And you know, 3rd place still pays out some pretty good points here.
I'm curious what, I may have to go look at what Dim's doing with his line. He's continuing to lose time to Billy, but I can tell you Billy has maximized track width 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 almost in the same way. He's kind of barely tapping the brake a little bit to get the car slowed right before you hit the center of the corner, and he's rotating all the way from the top of the track down to the bottom and hitting what is a line something similar to what I would take, which is a pretty late apex. Not very characteristic of most racing lines on a big oval like this, but it's working with the model track that we have and this chassis. It's probably what I would be doing, and Billy is implementing that to, you know, his advantage right now with this gap that he's eking out over Dim.
Yeah, we've seen that kind of be the meta with these momentum setups. Big, heavy stock cars carry momentum all the way down the straightaway. The speed is king. Exit speed is everything when it comes to making lap time with these cars. So you start to see that a late apex like that really works if it can give you 1 more mile an hour on exit. That turns into a huge advantage by the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, not every straightaway is big enough for you to, you know, see the full fruits of that that advantage, but Kansas is definitely one of them. I mean, they're upwards of 200 as you enter into 1, so you have a long time to build up speed.
That gap between Flix and the group behind is now down to 6 seconds, so it's been cut in half since I last talked about it, and it's only been about 3 or 4 laps. So these guys are definitely going to be looking at an opportunity for a top 3 finish here. And I'll tell you, if Dim keeps falling off the way he he is. You know, enough stints like this, they may be able to catch up to Dim, even though he had that lap advantage. Flix has now made it.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, Flix has now made it 50 laps on a set of tires here. Now that's really without nearly as much caution help as the guys did earlier. For example, Ford, who made it 56 laps, 5 laps I think. As now Dim into the pits, and that's on the early side of it. He's been struggling, and he's calling it, coming into the pits for your second place runner of Dim.
Yeah, I mean, seeing how wide the window is with the pit strategy, you know, maybe it's not such a bad call. Billy's coming in, by the way, a little bit early from what you projected on the Meta 3 stop, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So both of them coming a little bit early. Maybe Billy is a little bit afraid of the undercut opportunity from Dim, although I probably wouldn't have been with an 8-second gap that he had pulled out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be, but I mean, if you're only fighting one guy, you might as well just pit the lap after. It's like almost guaranteed to keep it. We see that Flix has gone 50 laps. He's now been caught by Dino. So Dino going to the inside here, taking away a third spot from Flix. Flix has made it 52 laps. The next target lap is going to be about 130, which is 48 laps away. So it's definitely doable. Flix out there gathering the data for us up here in the booth and showing us that they can absolutely make it and do it on one more stop, even pitting about 6 laps earlier than the original target.
Coming in, I believe. Is.
And I gotta say, that was a pretty master stint from Flix. I know he lost a lot of time, but he was so far off schedule, pitting on lap 30 and extending it to 83. I think that was really, really well done. It shows that he really wasn't in the wall too much. He was keeping his car clean. A really strong stint there from Flix in the number 43.
He's slow entry though.
Oh, and he's going to the garage, and he's done. Oh my gosh. Wow, and he's just gone. He's done.
Well, that wasn't expected, but
Yeah, not at all.
was.
Wow. Well, that's going to mean that Dino inherits the lead ahead of Ford. Flix has been shuffled down the order now, so we are down to 8 remaining drivers.
It's ominously quiet.
Very.
I mean, is someone getting an itch in their right arm? I mean, come on now.
I think you're about 70 laps too early on that one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Dim, I think, into the wall a little bit.
Hey, I'm just
The
saying,
entry.
man, if it happens, bro, I'm not backing down from my theory. I think people are doing it on purpose if it happens. I mean, look how strung out we are. We're dealing with drivers who haven't had much lag. I mean,
Yeah, we just saw a quiet retirement from Flix.
DJ Pitt.
Into the pits here. That's
kind of hitting the
yeah,
projection
that is
the way you put.
That's right on there. Now, obviously, he's already been passed by Billy, so he's probably going to go a lap down to Billy once again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that DJ didn't luck out with the timing of the caution like Billy and Dim, because DJ would be right there with him fighting for the win.
Yeah, I mean, same with Dino, who's had great pace. He's just had better pace than Ford. You know, Ford has kind of yo-yoed up back and forth to him, but got the wall a couple times, and Dino's just been more consistent. And it's just kind of comfy with that 1 second gap right now.
Well, while it's kind of quiet, you want to go over some news, some new implementations in the game, and kind of what we expect to see coming weeks with Roblox racing?
Nah.
Well, I mean, for one, you updated the thingamabob.
Voice.
That's right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thingamabob.
we're introducing the brand new Thingamabob coming to you next Tuesday night. Make sure to tune in for the big Thingamabob.
In all seriousness, though, I like the new feature of the lap time coming up. Your car's best, which is, for all intents and purposes, your session best lap time under practice is now part of your user interface as a driver. I think that's a great feature that we have on the development side.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what I'm saying. We
cool.
should go over some news.
I put that on the IndyCars earlier today, so we'll probably be doing a Classic IndyCar Series test later tonight. Ford closing the gap here to Dyno. That is your Season 1 Classic IndyCar Series champion. I hear the trophy is in production and on the way to his house as we speak. So he'll be awaiting that with alacrity as Ford. He'll be trying to go back to back. But yeah, Season 2 of the Classic IndyCar Series, we've going back to those kind of those DW12s, like 2014, 2015 cars. We had the 2015 IndyCar season, obviously won by myself, and now we're coming back for another season.
Yeah, I'm excited to do Season 2 for Classic IndyCar. I did exactly one race in the Classic IndyCar Series Season 1. And guess who won it?
Me, guys. I did it. No, little man was able to prevail with Ford right on his tail. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, Ford right on Dyno's tail into the wall a little bit.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate race for me. I DNF'd during the one and only weekend where Bubble decided that DNF gives you no points. So that cost me the championship. I went in with the championship lead. I only had to finish 7th or better.
See, that's the kind of stuff that really upsets me. The fact that the point system changed for 1 week in this thing it's so beyond integrity and the legitimacy of the sport, the competition. I mean, if anything, if there's one rule that we could just have, hold on to dearly, it's to not change things mid-season to affect results, and to not change things mid-race to affect the immediate results of the race. But we don't have that sort of, principle holding to a supremacy clause like that. We don't have it. We don't have.
Oh, Dyno in the wall right there.
We don't have the rule book or anything, or at least that single clause, supremacy clause, so that we don't change things. So we end up with these changes, and people get the short end of the stick like you did, Agent. So that sucks.
Well, we've got a great battle on track here between Dyno and Ford. Dyno got in the wall a little bit last time around, and they're both losing time to Billy, who remember pit fairly recently. I imagine we're going to see these guys pit probably close to 100 based on their first pit stop. But as far as I can tell, they're going to have to make another stop. They would have to extend this all the way to, I don't know, lap 115 or so to make it to the end. I just don't see that happening. Now, the one thing we actually added to that Classic IndyCar series that we actually didn't even get to mention just a second ago was a weight jacker. So you have in-car adjustments you're making on the fly on the ovals, along with a fast jacker to help give you some more speed on the straightaways. And you're gonna have to change the setup of your car as you go through the tire run. Your car's gonna kind of tend towards being having oversteer condition. You're gonna be loose. And if you don't keep up with your tools, you're going to find yourself spinning out. If you just go all the way loose like you see in some of these other Roblox leagues with quote-unquote setups, there's a meta formed where you just go for full steering and your car just slides around the track and you keep grip and you just pull away. But this counters that by if you go too loose, you spin out. So you've really got to be on top of it. And I think it's a really cool addition that we're going to see a lot of drivers have to learn how to handle for Season 2 of the Classic IndyCar Series. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
there's many thingamabobs. There's a thingamabob DLC on the Weight Jacker as well called the Dash Jack. You're just not gonna explain the Fast Jack?
I mentioned that there was a
Wait,
fast
what?
jack for straightaway speed.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I missed that.
You're mainly going to see that affect you more in qualifying. Obviously, you're going to use it in the race because you're trying to get every little bit you can. But by the time you're in the draft, you know, you're already getting so much by the draft. As somebody Nas into the pits, I think he almost missed it. I saw him like way out there close to the grass. Now forward looking to the outside of Dino for the lead. Ooh, Dino enters on the apron. He's a little bit deep. You can kind of see them modulating the throttle, going back and forth with who's ahead. But Dino on the apron, and Ford's got the spot around the top. Finally, Ford retakes the lead here at Kansas.
Yeah, when they pit, you know, Dino and Ford are going to be so far behind DJ, who's on that optimal strategy. Obviously, he's like, I think DJ's probably on an optimal strategy, would be in the lead, if not for the kind of freak timing that has put Billy and Dim in good position. But, you know, if Ford and Dino had pitted on something similar to what DJ had, maybe they'd be fighting with him. But instead, DJ's going to have a crazy undercut on him.
Yeah, well, Dim has just had no pace in this stint either, as Dino had been on the wall big time. Dim is now 16 seconds behind Billy. I mean, a car he was fighting on track with, you know, neck and neck for a long time. He's just lost so much that I think he's gonna relinquish that advantage he had from the yellow. DJ's probably now kind of thinking about a possible P2 if we go all the way green.
That's a full lap's worth of advantage to lose, man. I mean, how could it go that wrong?
Billy's closing in on this pack here. That's DJ between Dino and Billy. He's gonna be trying to get that lap back. And I mean, yeah, you know, you lose more than a lap, and DJ's right there behind these guys, so he will definitely be out ahead. And his caution is out. Who did it? Oh, and it's Dim and PC have come together. They were neck and neck, and they have crashed into each other.
I told you guys it had to happen.
And all of a sudden, DJ looks kind of amazing.
Yep, because he's been on schedule.
Yeah. And that's the disadvantage to overextending. If you can't save a pit stop, you know, it doesn't matter. If you get caught up by yellow, you're just stuck a lap down.
It doesn't matter who's on the track. It doesn't matter how spread out you are. It doesn't matter how far into the race you are. Someone will goof around at some point. You're not going to have this thing go full green. I mean, you could almost bet on it, dude. You should be betting on it.
Yeah, we like to announce a collaboration with FanDuel. We're gonna. As Dim strategically joins the back of the pacing line after waiting around a lap, so that doesn't have to use his tires to catch back up. So that is PC out of the race. Dim on his last car. And now we're down to 7 cars in this race. Still 73 laps to go.
You know, what you mentioned about the risk you take with extending. Honestly, thinking about how often cautions come out, how it feels almost guaranteed to have multiple cautions in a Roblox race, there's no point and like really ever extending. Like just, you know, you just pit on the ideal schedule that is, you know, there would be a #1 strategy in a simulation, and you just pit on the schedule lap, and no matter what.
Yeah, the only thing with that is, you know, you could do that the whole race, maybe even pit a little bit early, and you hit the cautions perfect every single time. Like, let's say you pit one lap earlier ahead of the target, and a caution comes out when you're in pits for every single pit stop. And then, you know, the very last stint, somebody random pits with 10 to go, and then their caution comes out with 5 to go, and they've got brand new tires right behind you for a final restart. I mean, it's just the way it happens. There's really, you could have a perfect race, and even these guys that extend right now, it just takes one caution that just lines up perfectly right after you pit, and you're back in control.
You know, I'll throw this out here. The reason that these things can even happen is twofold. For one, people don't see the full realization, a practical realization of taking an early pit stop and having a caution come out, because they don't lose the lap whenever the caution comes out. So that's part of it. They end up with that lap advantage.
Yeah.
The other part of it is you don't get to pit under caution. So the people that gain that advantage, they never have to relinquish it to someone who's able to pit under caution. So quite simply, if you could pit under caution and people got the full realization of having lost a lap, you wouldn't end up with these kinds of problems. But because of our rules set up right now, this is why this happens.
Well, we've got 3 rows of 2 and Dim there at the back. As we're coming to the green flag, once again, green flag is now out way at the end of the restart zone. Late green flag, but there we go. Forward it leads Dino from Billy, Chino, DJ, Nas, and Dim. And it's a great restart for Ford. He's out clear in the lead. Watch DJ, that number 39 machine. He's third on the bottom. He's got the freshest tires, and he's going to look to take advantage here.
He's got to get underneath Billy.
I mean, look at the grip advantage, man. It's just not even close.
You know, it also produces, there's another thing about this rule where we can't pit under caution. It also produces these situations where people are on such different times in their tire life that they're trampling over each other, they're tripping over each other, and they're packed up so tight on a restart. People who don't have the tires can't do anything but get swallowed up, and the people behind them can't do anything but run them over.
Yeah.
So you have another, you know, catalyst for breeding more wrecks.
And I didn't even notice Nas had a perfectly timed pit stop there. He pit on 97 right before the yellow. So Nas in that bright yellow machine running third, he's got brand new tires compared to the 2 ahead of him. As Chino's going to call it into the pits here on lap 105. And now Nas to the inside here of Billy. Looking for P2. He's got a 16 lap tire advantage. Now
So Chino, sorry to interrupt you, I think Chino is too early to have pit right there. Unless he had been still extending for a long time before the caution.
Yeah, I mean, Chino from here, he can do it on one more stop. But these guys up front, DJ, Nas, Billy, they're looking to do it on one more stop. So they have a lap advantage over Chino right now. But right now, it's too far to make it. But once we get to about lap 118, about 10 more laps, that pit window is going to open up for doing it on one more stop.
Yeah, so the only reason Chino would have come down is if it was just impossible for him to hit the marker like a 120 to 130
Yeah.
hit window.
Those that are on like the exact target schedule from the original start of the race, which is now only DJ, he's looking for lap 130.
He's basically the favorite to win this thing now.
Yeah, I mean, Nass has about 10 lap fresher tires. If he can just find some pace, he could battle him. But it's looking like it's going to come down to one more green flag pit stop as we're side by side. That's Chino trying to get a lap back against Forward. I saw it getting a little bit silly down there on the front straightaway. Now Chino with fresh tires blows by. I think Ford kind of let him go there, just not getting involved in any shenanigans with lapped cars after what happened at Kentucky.
Yeah, he's definitely scarred of them now. So
And those were his teammates as well.
it's horrible.
It was a great showing for Snowman Schemes a couple nights ago. It's a great view out of my front windshield.
Oh, and then you had that view again. The same guy.
How was the view of your front windshield when you were looking at whatever his name is?
Yeah, right.
Carmelo.
Yeah.
No, your view of the view of your windshield when you're looking at Carmelo and the outside wall.
Yeah.
As Billy into the pits here, that is
Dimmer coming in.
really
And
early
I know.
for Billy.
Forward that behind.
Everybody's pitting here on lap 111. I mean, we've got 4 cars going to the pits. And yeah, guys, this is too early to make it to the end. These guys are all gonna have to do it on one more. Every single one of these drivers needs one more stop. So they're doing it so late too. I mean, they're all gonna fall behind Chino. Here comes.
Maybe Ford was in the kind of position that Chino was in. He wasn't going to be able to do it if he had been extending a long time before the caution. But you know that Dim wasn't on that strategy, right? Billy wasn't on that. They weren't going to have to deal with that, were they?
Oh, and Dim gets the driver's penalty just to add to it. Yeah, Dim, I don't think so for Dim or Billy. I really have no idea. They did like a 30 lap stint here in the middle. It's just seemingly no reason. I just have no clue what they're thinking of that.
They would have been earlier than DJ and Nass, of course, but I felt like they would have been way closer to their window, which is expected to do this one more stop on the caution.
Yeah, and I think this is too far. I think right now it's looking like it's gonna be Nass and DJ, and that's it. Dim has to go back and serve that driver penalty. The battle for third is going to be between Billy and probably Ford here. Chino's on a few laps older tires, so I expect him to fall back behind Ford.
It's interesting that I figured Nass would have caught DJ at this point. I think Nass had a really good pace and fresher tires to do it. But DJ, we never really saw what his qualifying pace was because he took a provisional. He took a championship provisional to get into the back of the field, starting from last. So he's coming to his own with his pace. We never really knew where he stood on true one lap pace. Well, at least in the Kentucky race about the front windshield shenanigans or whatever, I thought for sure I was going to save it, but I thought I'd be coming home P2 or P3. I thought Carmelo would have gotten past me, and I can't tell if he was just letting up to let me save it and go get the win because of being wrecked by a lap car, or if he thought I was going to go up into him and us both wreck, so he was checking up for a wreck.
Regardless, he did you a favor and he saved you. That's a good question, though, actually.
Yeah, really not sure. Their last lap Nas marginally faster than DJ, but they've got three really fast lapped cars behind them, all on fresh tires. After all the shenanigans we've seen this weekend, I may just kind of lift off on the back straightaway and let all these guys go.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna play virtually zero part in the race, unless there's a caution. And if there is a caution, it doesn't matter what you do now. You might as well just let them go. But instead, Nas decides he wants to lose 4% of his tire wear there on the exit turn 4.
Yeah,
That's very smart.
DJ, I don't know if he got on the wall. I think he lifted so much to stay out of the wall, but he still lost ground, even though Nas went into the wall himself.
Have a return on that investment. He'll not have 4% less tires like Nas does now. And just a sitting duck, yeah, they could, all the lapped cars go by, unlapping themselves from Nas. Now they're going to try to unlap themselves from DJ. But, I mean, we've seen cars go 54, 55 laps, and we now have 56 to go, so we're hitting it. That pit window is just now starting to open. I'd say it's pool 2 right now.
I honestly wouldn't go before lap 125, man. I mean, I know you can go 50 plus
I
laps
wouldn't
on a stick,
either.
but you're so slow.
I agree. I just want to put it out there that, you know, I think it's starting to be where you can do it on one more. Oh, it's 4 full since DJ. It's one of those lap car shenanigans we were talking about. Billy has to lift, stay out of the wall. Man, DJ is in the storm right now. I would back out of this, man.
Nas was just in the wall himself.
Oh, that's not gonna be good.
This is exactly the kind of thing I'm trying to avoid if I'm DJ. You're in the storm of lapped cars. They're bouncing off the wall. They're hitting you up. They're hitting each other up. They're door banging on the back straightaway. I mean, you got to get out of this.
Yeah, because you're only fighting one other guy for the win right now. Just focus on what's in your rearview mirror. Let these guys go by. Nas is coming quick.
During qualifying, there was actually a controversial thing that Nas did to get that second place. He had hit the wall, and basically it helped him when he hit the wall. And the drivers who were there watching had started saying, Dyno specifically, that shouldn't be allowed because in past races you were able to you hit the wall, you'd get invalidated. He didn't get invalidated, and that is what ultimately got him second place in the pole because Corey didn't show up. So very weird way of how Nas started this race, but he shows that he's got the speed.
Yeah, it sounded like it was very close qualifying. We almost saw Ford not make the show. It's, you know, P12 in the timings. As the last person in, and there were 2 people ahead of Ford that were invalidated or couldn't make it. Actually, 3 people. So if everybody had made it, Ford would have not made the show. If we strictly took times, whether invalid or not, then P15 and out. But it just sneaks in. As Nas bounces off the wall there, Dyna's gonna go past. Oh, and Nas is going up the track. That scared me. I know that tri-oval can get tight.
It's really bad for Nas, man, because he was sitting right in an undercut position for DJ. So once you hit that lap 125 mark, it'd be early, but you'd have the undercut available for you. You would force DJ's hand if you came in, if you wanted to keep track position. But now that he's bumped into the wall, lost all that ground, I don't see how he can really make a threat to DJ.
and when you make a mistake like that, I mean, it's one thing to have a bad line and lift to keep it out of the wall and, you know, with a bunch of speed, but bounce off the wall, get the wall ride, and you lose the tire percentage, you know, you've lost in the moment and you've lost long term with the tires. It's such a big penalty, you know, it's just, it's really not what you want if you're trying to fight for a win here like an Ass and DJ are. Well, here we are on lap 125. I think here it's pretty safe to come in. DJ, who's been right on the target, he's going to be looking for lap 130. That would keep him exactly on the lap that we expect.
Yeah, I think the only reason you'd pit a little bit earlier than what your target lap is if you're DJ is if Nas got a little bit closer and pit and was actually threatening to undercut you and have track position. Then you'd have to make a choice. You know, you either cover off the undercut, Nas in the wall again, by the way. You'd have to cover off the undercut or extend and hope that the tire life advantage is good enough to track them down and make the pass at the end of the race.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe, I mean, well, the way we've seen it, you can make it to the end from here. I would consider just coming into the pits and in case a caution comes out.
Yeah, you don't want to not pit and then get screwed up by some caution, and then you'd have to pit and then hope for a caution. So no one wants to be put in that situation.
Yeah, so you guys think like you pit on the earlier side of the pit window, at least if you have a big enough gap that you don't think you're going to be a sitting duck with old tires at the end, you know,
Yeah.
just to cover off that caution advantage.
I mean, he's 4 laps away from the target lap anyways. We know you can make it to the end from here. I'd err on the side of a caution coming out in the next few laps. Just, you know, bring the car in for your last stop, get it over with.
Yeah, I think that's the prudent way to go about it. I mean, that gap is huge. All it took was a few mistakes from Nas, and now he's upwards of close to 5 seconds back, almost in full corner.
I mean, we saw the same thing with Billy and Tim.
Yeah, if you're DJ, I think you go ahead and pull it in.
Nope.
So you just must not be thinking what we are. But I think that this is actually the right strategy, what we've laid out.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing is you pit. If you really just are hoping that there's not another caution from the time the 3rd through 7th pits again until the end of the race. If anybody 3rd through 7th pits, after you pit and then a caution comes out, that's where that caution can ruin the races. Here we go. Here comes DJ on the apron very early, very conservative. Doesn't need to push on the entry. Just being nice and careful here. Slows it way down. Very clean entry. He had no reason to push on the entry, and he's playing it exactly how he needs.
Yep. This is definitely the right call. So basically everything else is out of your hands now. You just run your laps. Right? If 3rd through 7th or whatever lucks it out with a caution around their pit cycle.
Man, he keeps stopping on the line. He missed like 5 pit boxes. He stopped on the line, ridiculous. But I think he's fine.
But he should be fine. If the 3rd through 7th thing happens with their pit cycle, there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. And it's going to suck if it happens, but there's nothing to do about it.
Well, he's done his last pit stop, so DJ can make it to the end here. He had such a big gap, he's going to stay on the lead lap ahead of Nas.
I don't know what Nas is doing. I think he's losing more time staying out there.
Remember before this DJ just pit, he had last pit on 86. Nas had pit on 97. I mean, 11 lap fresher tires, and then just so many mistakes, it's just cost him so much.
Nas in the wall.
I mean, the amount of times he's hit the wall at this point, I'm surprised he hasn't fired yet. And I mean, what are the chances we see Nash blow a tire? He's hit the ball so much. He's been out there so long.
Dude,
Don't say
I
that.
don't even want to speak it into existence, man.
Exactly. That you said it. It's gonna happen.
Dude, this would be the first race I could remember in a long time that went through a long green flag stint with pit cycles and we finished like this. It'd be the first time I've seen that in a long time.
Well, I mean, if you're one of those other cars that's off cycle, Red Billy, Chino, Dino, Dim, I think Dim might have actually already pit again. You should go ahead and pit, because now, if you pit, if a caution comes out at any time in the next 41 laps, you've got yourself a chance again.
But then, the other thing that could happen is you stay green the whole time. So you pit for no reason again.
No, you have to pit either way. I'm saying go ahead and
Oh,
do
you're
it.
right. No, yeah. Okay. You know what? Yeah, no.
Go ahead and
very
do it
long
in
race.
case the caution comes out.
Or yeah, do it and then wreck yourself.
It's fair.
Nash hip bounces off the wheel again here.
I'm just saying, man, who's gonna see Ford if he pits and then bids it? Who's gonna see it, man?
I mean, Nash is going so slow in the corners. He's bouncing off the wall. I don't know about you, but that right rear's looking a little soft.
No.
Man,
Let's not do that yet.
man, if I'm Ford, I'm pitting. Speaking of Ford, he's right on the back of Dim. Dim, I think, has already made that choice to pit. So if a caution comes out now, Dim is in a pretty good spot. DJ, of course, is in the best spot. Dim bounces off the. Gosh, that's scary, man. Two cars running this close, and one of them's bouncing off the wall. Billy's pretty close with Chino and Dino behind. There's these small clusters. Any one of them could be a mistake that brings out a caution.
Yep. Can they do it? Can D1 manage to finish the race the way it's going?
As this is Nash coming into the pits here, so he's
Finally.
pulling it in.
Took a little bit. We'll see where he comes out now. Again, probably far behind DJ.
I think Dim just bounced off the wall again. Ford just hit a massive track bump on the front straightaway, but no spin.
Ooh.
That's another thing. Sometimes it's not even the driver's fault. We just get a big track bump as we're side by side right there for a third, which is now second. Chino sending it on the bottom of Billy.
Oh.
Here comes
There's only
Dido.
So many cars on track. 3 of them are under a blanket, man. Is this our caution?
It's really hot. I don't think we need the blanket.
Here comes Dido trying to make it interesting up the middle.
They keep it clean. Dino right next to Billy.
His race control came in to make some noise. He made just a few little noises and left. It's fantastic.
I have no idea what was being said.
I don't even know what he said.
Incomprehensible language.
Gibberish.
Hey, Dino's got to run. I think it's time we wreck Chino for no reason. Come on, Dino.
There he comes. He's doing it.
No,
Yeah!
no. We're forcing him down the apron. I love it.
Oh, that was really not developed their frontal
Are
lobe
we-
thing.
Are we seeing in real time what happens, guys? How we end up with these late races? Cautions? We're just saying people decide that that's it, man. They just
Oh
hate
my
everybody
gosh.
around.
Battle for second, and they're going crazy. Chino's sending him.
Yes, we are seeing it. We are seeing it, guys.
Oh,
We are seeing it.
Dino's still clear.
We're seeing it. We're seeing exactly what happens. Here comes the sin, bro. Get ready. Oh,
He's
okay,
too
we
far
should've calmed
back.
down a little bit.
We starting to get a little bit of a gap here between these 3 cars, thankfully. So we've got 35 to go now to the end of the race.
Dim
Yeah,
really high in turn number 3. I don't know what that was.
I mean, Dim pit and was is a lap down. In case a caution came out, he would have fresh tires. But I mean, he's hit the wall so many times and made so many mistakes and just has no pace that
No, he
I
didn't
wouldn't even consider him a a threat if that does happen.
I don't think he pit. He had a drive-through.
Oh, you're right. So he has to make another stop again. You're right. My fault on that one.
He wouldn't be running all the way up there. I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe he'll bounce off the wall and make Dino spin out.
Yo.
Yeah, just thinking that.
Side by side. Oh, they touch.
A little bit of torn on the first straightaway. Dino's got way better tires. He's going to run the apron on the entry and clear Dim here.
One rule change I mentioned, Bubble, was to say that if you wreck it all for any reason with 10 laps to go, then you get a 1 race suspension. But I don't think we're ever going to implement that, even though I really want to.
He may consider it. I mean, we saw that rule implemented for the Bubble 325 where if you wrecked it all for any reason on lap 1, you would get a suspension. That was implemented for the Bubble 325. Now, of course, that's kind of the one race of the year that Bubble really, really cares about the show it puts on and the value and the racing product. So he was adamant that we had a clean lap 1.
And 2 laps later, DJ wrecked him.
Yeah, I mean, along with taking measures such as zero draft on the first lap and things of the sort, just to keep everybody from going crazy on the start. Of course, DJ the year before wrecking on lap 1, and now this year he made it to lap 3, and now here tonight, he is kind of the protagonist of the night right now.
This be the redemption. It's not as good as the Bubble 325, but it's not losing and wrecking out.
Yeah, I mean DJ has that champion's provision from the extremely controversial 1958 Bubbles Cup Season 3 one race shortened championship. Season 4 won by Fart Monkey and Trunks.
One thing I'm thinking is, do we take for granted that Ford would have to pit again?
I mean, last pit lap on 111, he'd have to make it 63 laps. That's way further than we've seen anybody do. If he could have,
that we've seen.
Well, he pit on lap 55 and then he made it 56. But look, if he could have made it 63 laps, you would have been doing that from the start when you had tons of caution help to be able to easily make it on 2 stops. You wouldn't push it like this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Billy's coming into the pits again, so that's the first one out of that group that pit on 111. He's pulling it in here.
That could either be really good or just
nothing. I think for Billy, this is your best option. There's 28 to go. You pit now. If a caution comes out, basically won the race. And even if you don't, you're gonna have such a big undercut on those that pit with you, such as Ford and Dino, and even Chino. You're still gonna have a pretty good chance of jumping those guys because they're not gonna have a lot of time to come back at you. And take it all back. Billy has a drive-through penalty for speeding on the entry to pit lane. So that is all thrown out the window. Of course, if a caution comes out, it still doesn't matter. You want to serve that as soon as possible, because then if a caution comes out,
then you're just right back in it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say it almost doesn't even matter.
Good.
Yeah,
Not good.
it'll matter for his battle against Ford, Dino, Chino, for kind of second, third, and fourth, and fifth. But now he's just hoping for a caution, and he's gonna get to battle the wall.
I'm just saying, man. I don't. There's no reason to extend the way Ford is at this point if he still had to do one more stop. Just gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see him making it 63 laps. It'd be way longer than we've seen anybody make it. And all under green. I mean, we saw 55 laps and 56 laps with cautions.
Yeah, but I don't know how much he may have hit the wall in that first stint. If it's possible for him to do it, he'd do it. With the pace that he has, he would do it. And there's no reason to extend this amount if you still got one more stop left. I mean, Ford is smart enough to know that.
Yeah, I think
he
he's gonna
might be
go all
doing
out
it.
for this.
Yeah, I think he's extending, man. And it's not like DJ's caught up at all. And that's
No.
this kind of Ford pace that he has.
Oh, we'll have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. Has Ford been saving something all race long? Has he pulled one on everybody, pitting super early on a two-stop strategy to make everybody think it was impossible to make it on two stops, just to throw a wild final stint?
This would be a class, a master class drive in strategy and tire saving, tire whispering by Ford to pull off a win here.
Just for reference, if you see as we have DJ going past Chino for P3, see the tire difference there, tire delta between those two. But just for reference, if Ford can only make it another 55 laps, then we're gonna see him pit with about 8 to go. So if Ford is still out there, past 8 to go, we have entered into the realm of the unknown in terms of how far you can make it.
Love that place.
Same with Chino though. Chino's run this all under green, and he pit 6 laps earlier than those guys. Remember, Chino pit on lap 105. So for Chino, if Chino makes it to 14 to go, that's a 55 lap stint for him.
I really hope this thing goes green so we can actually see this play out. Broomstick
Yeah.
is starting to be the pursuer here.
Yep,
I
found
can never
space.
call him DJ because I see broomstick sauce on it.
Yeah. And
Is
there's
20
Chino.
laps enough?
Chino's pitting. Chino is pitting. That is 49 laps. 49 laps for Chino, and he's pitting. And those were all under green. 49 laps.
Assuming Ford managed to pull this out all the way to the end, I'm curious where DJ comes across the line and how much pace he's got with 19 to go. Would he be able to track him down?
He's gonna need, probably 6 or 7 tenths a lap.
Say that again.
And he lost time.
Yeah, he
guys.
just doesn't have it. I mean, the last 3 laps he's been minus a tenth, plus a tenth, dead equal. So it's, he's not gonna get it done on pace. He needs it to work out for this strategy.
Well, if Ford doesn't make a mistake, I don't think it's going to work up for him. Because Ford has managed to I'll pull out a Checo, Perez, a Scott Dixon, whatever you want to call it. He has managed to keep these tires together on the car for a long time, and I think he is going to the end.
Yeah, he's losing a lot though. Ever since lap 30 to 29 to go, he was at least half of the track, and now they're almost a straightaway away.
Yeah, but I mean, the last 4 laps, DJ's only caught up 3/10. I mean, at this point, he almost needs a second a lap. He needs about 8 or 9/10 a lap to get there. And that's just not what the pace difference is.
Yeah, Ford is just, even though he's on really old tires, he's continued to maximize the track. Where DJ, I'm not seeing exit all the way high and enter all the way high. I just don't think he's running the track as well as Ford. He's overslowing in the center from what I'm seeing as well.
But we just have to wait and see. Remember, these, Chino pit after 49 laps. Ford has only gone 47 laps so far on this stint.
Yeah, his minimum speed, guys, Ford in the center of 1 and 2 was about 10 miles an hour plus higher than what DJ's was whenever DJ went back through their last corner.
That's a great look at it. Ford drops down. That was about 160 there in 3 and 4. Let's see what
DJ does.
Same with Dyno. DJ drives it in super deep.
And then slams the brakes in the center. Do you see that?
Yeah. But then he gets an awful exit. Look at the exit. Yeah, where if Ford and Dyno slow down once really early in the corner, down to like 160, get the car rotated, and then drive it up off the exit. DJ drove it in super deep. Actually had a higher minimum speed, but his exit was just nothing because he's.
Oh my gosh.
Because he drives it in so deep.
155 center of the corner in 1 and 2.
That was a better exit. Last time around with 3 and 4, it was not. And I mean, look at he lost 4/10 last lap. Ford with another 36.8, and that's 5/10 faster than DJ that last lap. Dyno with another 36.8, pretty close to that pace. And yeah, DJ is rounded it up to 5/10 off the pace. 0.48.
Yeah, the fact that Dyno is still out there as well tells me, I think all you need to know that this is possible. The 2 guys have made this possible, and
I mean, they just haven't. I just don't believe it yet. I just haven't heard of it. I mean, they've only done 49 laps. They've done 49 laps. It's just not. It's not there yet. Once we get to about 6 or 5 or 6 to go, now I'm starting to shaking my boots, shaking my socks.
Nah, I believe it. I think if this thing goes green, Ford going in, bro. There's just no reason to be out here this late. Unless they blow a tire and cause caution, and then we pack everybody up, and then we have chaos.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. And then Cheeto with the freshest tires is gonna win. Looks like it didn't update the last pit lap there for DJ and Nas. They had really last pits 128 or 129 for DJ and Nas pit in the 130s.
The 2 cars that we have closest together right now, I think, are Billy and Nas.
Oh, certainly. Yep, Billy right there on the back of Nas. Of course, a lap down from Nas, but 10 plus laps fresher tires, and he's going to go by the inside. Ford stays out again here. So this is lap 53 on these tires, I believe. He's going really slow in the corner.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter because everybody sucks.
Doing this
He's now
brake tap.
compensating for. You can see how much he's compensating now by throwing the car on the entry because he knows how much he's going to slow the car down anyway. So he's happy to slam on the brakes of the center, as long as he's carrying a lot more entry speed to compensate for it and keep the lap time up. It's actually an incredible strategy. See what he's doing there? 202 down to 170, slamming on the brakes, still keeping a competitive minimum speed in the center of the corner, but he's carried 202 miles an hour to the entry. That's incredible. Oh my gosh, bro. How creative our driver is Ford for this.
I mean, it's Ford. I think that is all it says.
All right, there's still 8 to go. We don't have to glaze him yet.
I gotta do that every race.
But I'll tell you what, he's doing everything that he possibly could to win. He's done it all correct, man. The only thing that can take it out of his hands, I think, is a caution for no reason, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, here we go. We're gonna come see 7 to go. This is lap 56 on this set of tires for Ford.
He's making it.
He's got to make it 63.
No, we're just in. He's on 37%.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, I told you, bro.
He's gonna make it.
I told you, bro. There was no reason for him to be out here this long, unless he had the pace and the tire life to make it happen. That's got to be a little disheartening for the rest of the grid, man. I mean, he's just took you guys to school. And this is like an Alex Palou clinician that he's pulled off right here.
Just learned my ABCs.
Yeah, I mean, Dyno on the same strategy, 10 seconds back. He's had good pace this stint, but just lost that time earlier.
And by the way, Dyno was smart enough to pull this off as well. He just doesn't have the pace that Ford does.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's on the same strategy. Like they pit the same lap. So and they pit really close together. And he's had good pace this stint, but it's just not been the same pace as Ford out front. Ford obviously knows how to get the car around with that brake tap stuff going in the middle of the corner.
It's 5 to go, about to be 4, but still, just keep in mind, there is little man's theory.
Now, don't forget, Nass right here ahead of Ford. We've seen this before. 4 laps to go here for Ford.
Favorite phrase is that the lap cars like to make the presence known because they haven't got enough camera time. So just be aware that they like to sit in front of the leader and make sure they're on the broadcast a little bit longer than they otherwise would have been, and sometimes things happen.
Not to alarm anyone, DJ and Dim are door slamming. Dim almost gets turned.
Oh my gosh, guys.
This might be the moment.
I told you guys, this is what happens. This is what we
Dim with a drive-through penalty, 2 laps down. He's got the TV cameras on him in the 18 machine.
Oh my gosh, guys.
3 to go for Ford out front. They're both on the apron. And both these cars are driving terrible right now.
This is it. This is it.
Here it comes, DJ to the quarter panel.
And now it's happening live. I love it.
Oh, bounces off the right rear tire.
Oh my god.
Oh, they're door banging on the exit of 2.
Just keep hitting each other a little bit more.
2 to go for Ford out front. He's pulled the strategy masterclass, but we're watching P3 and P7 2 laps down. Oh, he's pushing him up. They're clean on the exit.
Love how there's zero reason to do this. It's not even for position, guys.
For the
They're
love of the
fighting
game.
like crazy.
Ford off turn number 4.
He's gonna see the
Coming
white
to
flag.
Here we go. Will he make it?
Okay,
They're not gonna wreck in time. Final lap for
He's there, he
Ford.
made it.
He's got it. He's got it. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen this in so long. I haven't seen someone win on merit, I think, in a year.
What a masterclass from Ford. There's the glazing now.
And man, it was what, just under 100 laps under green. 3 and
Here it
4.
comes.
Just 4-3. He just won the Classic IndyCar Series Championship. Now returns to Bubble Cup and wins off of a strategy masterclass here in Kansas for the Heart of America 250.
That's 3 in a row.
10 seconds back. Dino on the same strategy makes it work. He brings home P2.
Yes.
And now
Ford gets
DJ
the mouth.
dealing with Dim. He's going to bring it home P3. Dim is trying to wreck him coming to the line, but he fails.
Yeah, who cares about
And
Ford can take a bow.
Dim trying to wreck after the line to make sure he gets disqualified here.
Yeah, don't even show him on camera, dude. Don't even show him because he'll keep doing it. Just go back to Ford and Dino. These guys really earned it. Ford can take a bow. Dino can take a bow with him. But Ford really impressed me. And I don't see how anyone could hold a candle to what he could do on the racetrack now.
And there it is. All right. I was able to look at all 4 of them. I was able to look at Ford, Dino, Dim, and DJ as Dim just took out DJ up to the line. Usually we try not to cross the line, but DJ unable to because their jump power is actually set to 0 this time like it's supposed to be. And he got spun out, spin physics through the grass. But Ford gets it done.
Anyway.
As we're going to have the race winner here. Marcus, I'm going to let you take it away with an interview with our race winner, just 4-3.
Ford, you got it done. That's, I believe, and what I've been saying, 3 in a row after that just amazing strategy that you were able to pull off. How do you feel?
You know, I mean, bro, I feel good. You know, it's a great race for me. Well, actually, not a great race for me. I mean, I had some penalties, and then I got off strategy for the majority of the race. The cautions weren't falling my way, but you know, yeah, I was able to still, in the end, get it done. You know, a little 3 wins in a row after not winning for 4 seasons straight. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice.
All right, well, I mean, how do you feel? Also, you won the championship for the Classic IndyCar Series very recently. So, does this just add that fire for the next couple of races that you can race?
I think that it, yeah, it does add to the fire because now that I know I can get it done and win the championship, that, it just gives me even more motivation. You know, 3 wins in a row, just trying to gain as much points as I can on Corey. And right now, it looks like we're maximizing most of our opportunities here. Messed up in qualifying, trying to try different stuff, but in the end, you know, it was a great race. You know, once that final caution came out, I was able to get all the same strategy as Billy and after that, I was able to drive up past him and drive away with it and make my tires last to the end. So, yeah, honestly, glad to win for Snowman Custom Diecast, you know, graduation week, and Didn't get the win in the truck race, but got the win in the big show. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, my hands pretty fried, but you know it was a fun race, and um, I want to keep winning them. I mean, ideally, I want to win every single race this season. So this is pretty nice.
Yeah, great win there, Ford.
Right.
I've got two questions for you. One, I was just doing the math on the points. Obviously, Kimmy in the points lead. He's done. He's retired. So we've with 185 points for you today, and Corey Wilson with 0. You're going to be 5 points behind Corey Wilson, P3 in the championship, and you and Corey are just free to go for the win because you're going to pass Kimmy next race. How do you feel about the championship hopes now that you know? I mean, every person ahead of you did not show up to the race today, and now you're 5 points behind Corey Wilson fighting for the championship lead.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's just like the championship's on now, and like, uh, yeah, just gotta keep doing what I'm doing, keep winning races, getting good finishes, being consistent. You know, not DNFing myself, taking myself out of races like I was earlier in the season, and um, yeah, just gotta keep doing stuff like that, and eventually, and looks like this we're shaping up to have a good little summer stretch here. You know, have a lot of tracks that I'm very fond of. Next coming races, you know, like Watkins Glen, Darlington, Escambia, Charlotte, Kentucky. Like I feel like every race up to Daytona, I feel like I can win. So yeah, honestly, I'm just ecstatic. Honestly, to just win another race. I mean, like like you never know whether it could be your last win for a while because, you know, I've won one race in season one and then it took me 2 years to win another race. So you never know, like, how these things are hard to win, honestly. I mean, the late race cautions, like, you can have a really fast car, but the you're not always gonna win, even if you're the fastest car, and that's just a commonly known thing in all real racing leagues. But in this one follows that rule too. So yeah, but I'm just happy. I'm gonna soak it in today and just be happy I can come away with a win, and I can enjoy the rest of my weekend knowing I scored the field.
All right, congratulations, Ford. We'll see you next weekend. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
See if we can get another interview here. See if we've got Dino up here. Brought it home P2 on the same strategy as Ford. Do we have a Dino here? He may not be able to unmute. There we go. There we go. All right, there is Dino. So, Dino, I want to ask you about the strategy. I mean, on the same strategy as Ford, kind of pit, 55 and then 111, and then you stretch it 63 laps to go all the way to the end. I mean, did you know you could make it when you pit on lap 111? What was going through your head with the strategy, going through that last stint?
To answer your first question, I had no idea if I was gonna make it to the end. I was just Dim and I had made a strategy to just kind of pit around 110-ish, then go in, see if we could make it to the end. Realistically, we were thinking we were gonna have to pit. Then I heard Ford start to say, "Oh, I think I can make it," stuff. So that's when I realized, oh, I'm probably good to the end.
All right, awesome. Well, you brought it home P2. Get a bit of points. I know you're not really in the fight for the championship here. It's been, hard to make races. You've only made one other race, and we're here on race 8. But P2 is a strong showing. Can we expect to see you back for more Bubbles Cup races? And you think you can contend for wins?
Well, now that it's summer, I can race a lot more than I was able to when I was employed. Now I'm unemployed, so I can actually show up to races now. Which, honestly, I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna have a ton of races to hopefully catch up a bit in points. Probably not going to make it to points lead anytime soon unless if I win every race from the Glen until the end of the season. So.
Yeah, well, great job on a P2. Lowman, did you have any questions for Dino, or second place finisher?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw one more in there. Basically, when we were looking at you and Ford having stretched out that last stint and probably take home the first two positions, I was thinking the only way that this could be taken out of your hands if there was a late race caution like we've seen. And I was thinking, what in the world has to happen for us to have so many late race cautions? Like, I don't see how this happens. And then we were watching Dim and DJ do this out of this world shenanigans, not even fighting for position, and I realized this is what happens every time. This is how this happens. Was there anything that you were thinking during that time that would have led you to believe that this actually wasn't solidified P2 for you, because someone was bound to make a caution happen?
Well, honestly, I was hearing like, oh, someone needs to cause a caution so we could get that. So like the people in the back could get back. And it's like, please do not cause a yell right now. I'd rather just keep these spots right now. And just that's the bad thing is there's a lot of people who will want to try and sabotage to get better positions from yellows. I don't think people should be doing that in the first place.
Yeah.
Ruins the whole legitimacy of the finish.
Hey guys.
From what I've also seen from... Who's that?
Sorry, that was Bubble. Kim came back here, started infiltrating the interview.
But, yeah, just need to make sure people need to realize, say in like trucks and stuff, I heard there was a ton of late race cautions that ruined the finish, and I don't think that should be happening in general.
Well, you did a great clean race there. Great strategy at the end, bringing home P2. Congratulations, Don.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna get one last interview with our third place finisher, DJ. DJ, the only guy on that other strategy, is trying to pull it off. As there we go. There is DJ. DJ, I gotta ask you about the strategy, man. I thought you had it. I thought they were all gonna have to pit again. They stretched it 63 laps to make it to the end. You were kind of right on it with the 3-stop strategy. You know, tell me what you were thinking at the end of that race. You know, did you know they could make it? What was going through your head?
I was first of all thinking I was gonna lose third because Dim was a terrorist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably should have pitted a bit earlier at like 120 to be around them, because I had like the pace to keep up with them, but you know, Ford was just so rapid all day. I thought he was going to hit the wall same as Dino, but they ended up didn't. So I really thought I was going to, you know, win this race or at least do something about it, and it was going to be me and Nas. I was mainly focused on Nas, which I probably shouldn't have been, but you know, it's P3 after wrecking like the last in trucks and nationwide, so I guess it's a good performance. You know, we could start I don't think we're winning the championship, but we could at least have a good championship run if we just keep putting up good results. There's a road course next weekend, and I'm pretty good at those, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, congratulations to Ford, even though he was kind of a little bit dirty when passing me on the older tires.
Yeah, well, you sit 25th in points right now, but you're going to pass a lot of people after tonight. A lot of inactive people ahead of you. And I think you did a really good job bringing it home P3, so congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you on those road courses coming up. All right, I want to pull up a replay here. I think we got an angle of a crash that happened, so we're going to try to pull up this replay here. Yep, here we go. Here's the replay of the crash. Oh my gosh, there was a huge hit for Robloxian. Let's take a look at that again. Just big time in the wall. You hear him say he's in the wall. He's frozen. He's full frozen. So PC and Robloxian were both full frozen, and it was just a huge hit for Robloxian, you know, up in the air. So awesome job there. That was Billy's point of view. that we got that view from. So great replay there, and wow.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to ban you for showing disclosed footage to the public, bro. Who's the
Yeah, I think Dim should be banned from the remainder of all seasons for this little cycle of Roblox racing.
What does Ford think about that?
What? Bro, what I think about, yeah, I think about it sometimes, and I think about it, like, other times.
Well, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Wrap it up for us here from from Kansas. Um, some great races, good interviews from everybody. Luckily, I've already muted everybody in the Discord after the shenanigans they were starting to say in there. But yeah, that's gonna get our coverage here for the 8th round of Season 5, the Bubbles Cup Championship here at Kansas. As always, this coverage is brought to you by Builderbrain, the cutting-edge AI study tool. Head over to builderbrain.ai to ace your classes and win back your weekend. And then make sure to tune in next Saturday. We're going to shoot for about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the 9th race of this championship. This points battle is really going up. It's going to be Corey Wilson versus Just 4-3. 5 points separate them. That's your championship battle. So we will see you next week. Farewell and good night.